Brazil smash, destroy, obliterate South Korea. What an absolute clinic. What a clinic from the Brazilians, the favorites for the World Cup. You saw tonight why they're the favorites. It was a sensational performance from them. It really, really was. Game put to bed in all intents and purposes in the first 13 minutes. Signed, sealed, delivered, buried. You know what I mean? Cement over the earth, scorched by the 45th minute of the game. In the second half, I mean, they had the audacity to bring on their substitute goalkeeper. They brought on, is it Weatherton? Is that his name? They brought on their sub goalkeeper with about 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes if you include the added on time. Brazil absolutely sensational tonight. Sensational to a man. To a man. And interesting, you look at it, people will look at it statistically and go, oh, they only had 18 shots to 8 and they only had 53% of the ball. That's because in the second half, they just played. It was samba time. It was party time. It was probably the best football we've seen so far at the FIFA 2022 World Cup in Doha. It really, really is. Before we go any further, make sure you're downloading the Hitch app, a brilliant social polling application. They've got their daily World Cup predictions available for you on there, plus other polls, quizzes, and much, much more. Download it for free, but every time you use it, you earn coins. Those coins can be transferred into money. I've made £27 in just 2 days on there. So if you're someone that's looking for a bit of extra cash, a little bit of spare cash, it's free of charge to use, costs you nothing, and you earn money for using it. So scan that QR code or get it downloaded now, my people. There's a comment here that says, I bet Pele enjoyed that. I absolutely bet he did. Fingers crossed. His health is in good enough condition for him to watch it. It's in the daytime. I think he's in Brazil, I believe. If I get that wrong, I'm very sorry. So yeah, I'm sure he did. It was a very, very fitting performance for the man himself. It really, really was. And who do we talk about in this game? And who do we speak about? Who do we talk about? You've got Neymar, who I want to start with Neymar because he gets a lot of bashing, and I thought he was great today. He scores a penalty, gets an assist, but he was just so, is the word talismanic? He was such a leader. He was so flamboyant but controlled. I know that's a little bit sort of oxymoronic, but he was just sensational. Controlled when he needed to be, kept his team playing, but he kept that Brazilian samba flair alive. And some of the passing, some of the movement from him was sensational. You've got Paqueta, who scored. Brilliant goal. Dominated the midfield. Top-class performance from him. Of course, Vinny Jr., we know how great this guy is. Future Ballon d'Or winner. Absolutely out of this world performance from him today. Richarlison, listen, I don't know about in the Premier League, but Richarlison internationally is one of the best number 9s on the planet. The man is an absolute beast. He's an absolute beast. You can't get away from that. He truly is. Casemiro. Listen, best DM in the world. He's passing, his ability to break up the play. His passing is actually so underrated. And I believe it's because the majority of the time in his career, we saw him with Modric and Toni Kroos that are better than him at it. We didn't realize how good he was. He kind of faded into the background a little bit from a passing and technical ability perspective because the guys around him were just superior. But like I always say, just because Modric in his prime is more superior a passer than Casemiro doesn't mean Casemiro is not amazing at it. Sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. He's out of this world. Truly, truly out of this world. What a performance again from him. Thiago Silva at the back. This man's 49 years old. Pension settings. And he's bossing a World Cup. He bosses most Premier League games. Still bosses it in the Champions League. Thiago Silva is going down in the greats category. He's going to become a footballing great. Especially if they win this World Cup. And I couldn't finish talking about individual players without mentioning one guy today who at 1-0 and at 2-0 and at 3-0 and at 4-0 was still saving his team. And that's Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker, he is, for me, better than any peak goalkeeper in the last 15 to 20 years. Goalies at their peak, I'm talking. Not guys that retired in the last 20 years whose peak was 25 years ago. But I can't think of a better goalkeeper. And I genuinely mean that. I genuinely mean it. I'm going to rephrase that again. Alisson Becker is the best goalie I've seen in the past 20 years. Tell me a better goalie. Tell me a better goalie with his feet, distribution, one-on-ones, commanding the box from crosses, shot stopping. Tell me a better goalie that you know in the last 20 years. And then quantify why he's better. Quantify why he's better. Manuel Neuer, this man is better. This man is better than Manuel Neuer. He is. Manuel Neuer is a pioneer. For me, was the first, in my memory, the first sweeper keeper. But he's better than his feet with him. He's a better shot stopper than him. He's better than Manuel Neuer. He's better than any goalie I've seen play in the last 20 years. He is an absolute powerhouse. He is an absolute demon in goal, but he's so reliable. He's so formidable, impenetrable. He's an absolute star. And I genuinely mean this. Casillas, one of the greats. Alisson's better. Buffon, one of the greats. Alisson's better. Petr Cech, one of the greats. Alisson's better. He is the best goalie I've seen in the past 2 decades. Going back further than that, and maybe it's a little unfair putting the Buffons in there and these guys because they were from a different era where they weren't taught as kids to play with their feet. He's the best modern day goalkeeper that we've seen. He's the best modern day. But I even think as a shot stopper, he competes with everyone. The only person that I think that he's neck and neck with on shot stopping is Peter Schmeichel. Peter Schmeichel was just next level. Alisson Becker is out of this world. You look at that team, Becker in goal, Silva, Casemiro, Neymar, Vinny Jr., Richarlison up front. Again, as I say with Richarlison, one of the best number 9s in the world internationally. I don't care what he... Right now, we're talking the World Cup. It doesn't matter how good or bad he is in the Prem. What he's doing internationally, he's there. He is... This team, they're by far the favourites. They're by far the favourites. Whoever wins out of Portugal and Spain and Morocco, England, France, you got to be able to beat these guys. And they have everything. They have the flair. They have the defensive stability. And if you break through all of that and you get through on goal, Alisson says, you shall not pass. Yeah, out of this world. Absolutely out of this world. And listen, you guys can say I'm being disrespectful to Manuel Neuer. I don't care. I think Alisson Becker is better. I think he's better. He's better passer, better distributor, as good a sweeper, as good at one-on-ones, better shot stopper, barely makes mistakes. And the point is, Manuel Neuer has been doing it longer. So you kind of, you could say the longevity bits there with Manuel Neuer. This Alisson's going to do this for another 10 to 15 fucking years. Alisson Becker is one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen play football. He's one of the greats. One of the greats. And people can say it's crazy, say I'm talking cap. Come at me with facts then and tell me why I'm wrong. Don't just say I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. You can't. Alisson is not a very good passer. Oh, come on. You said he's not a good passer. Sorry to laugh. My word. Again, if I'm wrong, if somebody, £10,000 to someone that can phone up and prove me wrong, you've got a stumble bum me, so I have no response. £10,000 prize. Let's go. Link's going out now. £10,000 if you can prove to me. So you stop me in my tracks. I can't respond to your point. £10,000 cash in your bank account to disprove my opinion that Alisson Becker is the best goalie of the last 20 years. Let's go. £10,000. Come on the air and show me. No other YouTuber offers you money to disprove them. Most YouTubers don't even let you phone in to disprove them. I offer you money to do it. I stand by it. Thiago Silva, my defender. What a player, GOAT. Listen, he's one of the greats. Listen, Thiago Silva is one of the greats. And I think if we think about defenders in the last 20 years, he's in that top 5 category. He's in that top 5 category without a shadow, because he's adding to this what I think only the true greats of football have. The top tier echelon, especially in the modern day era where science is better, diets are better. That doing it in your late 30s, that is a tick box that only a handful have. Doing it at the very best level in your late 30s is a rarity. It's a rarity. Rarity. The Brazilian coach dancing. Yeah, bro. Do you know what? I saw that and I was impressed. You know, he's a little stiff, but he is 61. So there we go. It was nice to see Brazil play versus 11 training cones. They are defo a final contender. Impressive goals, but South Korea were really, really weak. I don't think they were weak. I just think the superiority of Brazil blew them away, blew them to smithereens, destroyed them. I really do. Alisson, what a keeper. Belaver, Vini, Neymar is back. Brazil bringing on their third choice keeper is mad disrespectful. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was hilarious. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was damn hilarious. 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 I don't have 10K. Let's get the... Do you want me to show you just one of my savings accounts online? Am I going to have to flex online? I'm going to have to flex now online, aren't I? Can I do this without exposing my bank account details? I mean, I could. How do I do this without showing you? Oh no, we'll just show you one of my. Am I going to do this? No, I'm not going to do it. I've got the money. It's here. It's on the screen. If you freeze frame it quick, you'll see it. It's there. I want to see. I'll go a bit closer. I want to see. It's there. The money's there. The money's there. The money's there. But I'll show you my account details. The money's there. It's right there. Barclays banking app. Come get the money. Come prove to me I'm wrong. Come prove to me. You've got to stumble bum me. People always say, who's going to referee? Who wins? You have to stop me in my tracks. If I have no answer, then you get the money. And if I'm wrong, you'll be able to come with facts that I can't debunk. And if I can't debunk it, you win. I'm not going to make a promise like that and not follow through. And I'll take your account details live on the air and I'll do the transfer live on the air. None of this, I'll get my accountant to do it later. I'll do it live on the air to your bank account. You stay on the air while I do it. You'll see 10 grand hit your bank account now. Alisson, best goalie of the last 10 years. Come to me with a point that I can't get out of. 10 grand, yours, straight up. No other YouTuber does this. Maybe Mr. Beast with a lot more money. Brazil's third keeper has more minutes than 100 million. Anthony. That bothers. I don't care. Is that a dig? Abdul, is that a dig? Is that the best you've got today, Abdul? That's the worst banter you've ever done on the terrace, bruv. Don't keep doing it as your penis will shrink. Terry, your hairline is receding again. It's the same as where it was before, bruv. It is what it is. It's all good. Thank you for the compliment, though. There we go. I have more than 100K in investments. I once saw a guy on some app, on some Instagram account I follow, trying to chat a girl up by showing her his bank balances. I thought, what a mug. He only had like 200 grand as well. I thought, you can't flex with 200 grand, bruv. What is that? That is not flex money. Super chat here. Let's have a little look. If only Richarlison didn't join Spurs. Casemiro on fire. Yeah, he was. He was absolutely brilliant today. We are very close to an Argentina versus Brazil semi-final. And if that happens, Terry, 1, who wins that match? 2, who wins that match? Brazil or Argentina? And will the winner of that potential semi-final win? I mean, listen, I think Brazil would win it on paper. But it's a hard game to call. I think Brazil are the team to beat. I think Brazil win it. I think Brazil go to the final. If Brazil are playing anybody but France, I think they win. I think they're superior to Portugal, superior to Spain and England. I think France are the only team that can beat Brazil. Genuinely, right now, that's how I feel. My mind might change in a few weeks, but that's kind of where I'm at. Terry, sorry, bro, but you're capping about Alisson. Thank you, Dyke, but that's not a response. Evening, Terry. Alisson Becker. That's why Liverpool are still in the top half. Without him, Liverpool would be bottom. I agree completely. Silva is in the conversation for Chelsea's greatest centre backs. In terms of individuals to play for you, I wouldn't necessarily say he's in there for like legacy at the club for how long he's been there, but he's definitely one of the best you've ever had play for your football club. There's no doubt. Terry, the recency bias, Neuer is better. Listen, I watched Neuer in his peak, and he was brilliant. I just think Alisson's a level better. I just think he's better. I think he's more dynamic. I think he passes the ball better. And Neuer's, by the way, we're splitting hairs, but I think Manuel Neuer is amazing, world class. I just think Alisson's slightly better. If they're both standing there, 10 years younger Neuer or Alisson now, I'm picking Alisson Becker to go in my goal. 110%. I can take the challenge. Come on, Terry. That's cool. Joshua Jack, he's actually here. He's backstage. He's going to take on the challenge. Remember, you got to stumble bum me. I call it stumble bumming. Stumble bumming, where I'm like, and I have nothing left to say. This is going to be scary. Will someone finally get the money? Joshua Jack, what you saying?
You hear me, Terry?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I hear your point about that, about Allison. And I hear you saying that about recently, but he's really coming his peak at 2018. Would you agree, right?
Who, Alisson?
Yes.
I mean,
No. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean that's a fair. He's been on it. He started his peak and he's continued it through for the last 4 years. He's still, for me, riding it. But yes,
Okay. So Check, for example, between '04 when he debuted at Chelsea to to 2014, I can make an argument was better than Allison. One, his distribution was better. Two, he was better in terms of clutch saves. Would you agree that he was better than Allison?
so I think when it comes to shot stopping with Petr
Yes.
Cech, you've got a great argument that Petr Cech as a shot stopper is as good as Alisson Becker. I can accept that as an argument. But then you add in all the other areas, okay? The one-on-ones, I think Alisson Becker is barring Schmeichel, the best I've ever seen at that.
Mm.
There is the sweeper keeper element. Petr Cech couldn't do it. Passing out from the back, Petr Cech can't do it. So when I'm reviewing every element of a modern day goalkeeper, Petr Cech on shot stopping is the same as Alisson Becker, in my opinion. They're very close. Some will say Cech, some will say Alisson, but all the other attributes I mentioned, Cech isn't close to him.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I had two more people I like to put.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say him because you ruined one of my points. So I'll give you that. I was gonna say Buffon, but you ruined that point. But I will argue with the previous super chat about Neuer, not just his time at Bayern, but his time at Schalke.
Mm-hmm.
He was looked at around the world when he was at Schalke, and like I look at Neuer. Neuer changed the game. He's the reason why Alisson where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Because before Neuer, who would you say was the best goalkeeper to do passing, distribution, sweeper keeper?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know many before him that were doing it. So do you know what I would say to you? I agree with you, and I said it in my speech. Manuel Neuer, for me, is the pioneer of the sweeper keeper era. He has a greater legacy in the game than Alisson Becker right now. That is
I agree with you.
truthful. But I am not talking legacy. I'm talking about individually, as individual footballers, who do I think is better? And if I had to pick Manuel Neuer from 2012, 2013, so 10 years ago, or Alisson Becker now at this point, and I could put them either one into my team, I would pick Alisson Becker because I think because of the evolution of the game, I think he does the things that Manuel Neuer invented better. You know, the overlap, the overlapping and crossing from a fullback. Gary Neville was one of the pioneers of that. It's why his podcast is called The Overlap, right? But you would probably admit that modern day fullbacks are better at attacking than Gary Neville, yes?
Yes. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, go for it.
If Klopp had a chance to pick Alisson now or Neuer, who do you think he'll pick?
That's a very interesting question.
Because Jurgen Klopp will pick him. He'll pick Neuer or Alisson. If you gave Klopp those two opportunities, those two goalkeepers in their peak, who do you think he's going to pick?
That is a very, very good question, and I'm going to go with Alisson Becker because Jurgen Klopp is a very, very loyal man. He's a loyal man. He's an honourable man. Listen, Joshua Jack, great try. I'll give you a lot of credit because most people don't come on and try. No one tried it. No one tries to take on the king, but you did. I respect it, Josh. We'll speak again soon, brother.
Thank
All
you,
the best,
Terry.
my friend. Listen, I got a lot of time and credit for him for coming on and trying, but again, didn't stumble bum me. Didn't say something where I went, I don't have an answer. We're looking for the. Do you remember that interview between Jordan Peterson and Kathy Newman? Kathy Newman moment me. Kathy Newman me, and you get 10 grand. Forget Ramsdale. What is this? Ramsdale exists. The distribution. Yeah, Ramsdale is not as good as Alisson Becker. I'm sure of that. Neuer finished third in the Ballon d'Or rankings, and at a time when the prime Suarez, Neymar, and Bale were knocking about. I understand that, and that's a listen. Manuel Neuer is a legend. Manuel Neuer is a great. I just think Alisson Becker is a better overall goalkeeper. Legacy isn't there yet. He hasn't had the years. How old is Manuel Neuer now? What is he? Late 30s? Is he late 30s? He's got to be old now. 36. You know, in another 6-7 years. I mean, again, it's hard with the titles. What is Manuel Neuer won? Forget the league titles and that. What's it? Champions League? What's he won? Won 2 Champions Leagues. Yeah, legacy wise, I think you could. There's an argument. His legacy in the game is bigger than Alisson's. But as we've all discussed, legacy doesn't mean you're a better football player. You know, Harry Kane is a better striker than a lot of strikers that have played in the Prem. He ain't won them trophies, so we all say the legacy ain't there. Do you know what I mean? So legacy and ability are 2 different things. That's all I'm talking about. But great point there, Eric. Thank you. Terry, you do realize that with your logic of Scholes being better than Gerrard is the same logic that you use to disprove Alisson hasn't won enough. And this is the thing that we're talking about here. What we often speak about in these circumstances is legacy versus ability versus everything else. Now, I've never denounced or said that Steven Gerrard wasn't an absolute sensational football player. Scholes was better irrespective of the trophies. I spoke legacy. Okay. So when I speak about the Gerrard and my top 5 Premier League attackers, I speak of legacy in the game. I did one based on ability, and Gerrard was in my top, I think he was in my top 5, maybe even top 6. So again, ability or overall legacy. I didn't say that Alisson has a bigger legacy in the game than Manuel Neuer. 2 separate arguments I'm very, very clear about, Will Flex. But great point, my friend. That's actually a very, very good challenge. So I hear you on that one, my friend. I'm a Liverpool fan, but Neuer is the GOAT for sure. Yeah, maybe being the GOAT and being the greatest ever. You know, there's fine lines in this. Terry, I will need a public apology from you and Jess when the Swiss win tomorrow. Told you you were sleeping on the Swiss. We'll see what happened. You're saying I lost, but you didn't listen to the challenge. You had to stop me from being able to reply. You got to get me. If you can get me, you get the money. That's what you're trying to do. Play the game. Play the game. Play the game. Next on the show, Chike's here to try. What are you saying, Chike?
Listen, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try, but I just have to tell you that you are really smoking crack, Terry. Because for you to sit there and say that Alisson is better than Neuer, De Gea, Casillas, Courtois, you've got to be smoking some kind of crack, man. I am so sorry. How you can sit there on your high horse and tell millions and millions of people on YouTube that Alisson is better than those goalkeepers? You got to be smoking something, Terry.
Why?
Because are you really because what are those? One, fine, okay. Those guys are far better. I mean, come on, Terry. I've seen Casillas play.
But now what you're doing is you're going to the other extreme. You're saying by far better than Alisson. That's a big. Saying far better than Alisson is more cap than me saying Alisson is slightly better than them.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just telling you that those guys are way better than Alisson. They really are.
Why? Okay, based on what? Quantify.
Stopping ability, passing. Okay, I'll agree with you that De Gea. No, come on, Terry. No.
How can you say there's never been there's no goalie in the world who is far better at passing than Alisson.
Manuel Neuer.
No, but he's not far. If you think he's better, he isn't.
No, how is he not better than Alisson? I've seen Manuel Neuer.
Chike, answer this point.
Okay.
Better and far better are 2 different things. Okay.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that.
So far better is an exaggeration.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I think they're better. Okay, fair enough. I think they're better than Alisson, but I think they're better than Alisson, but that's not to say that Alisson won't be there. But I'm just saying that those 5 keepers are all better than Alisson. And I know some have. No, really, I'm just.
And that's a fair point. I just disagree. Alisson is just he's next level. He's next level. I've never been this scared of a goalkeeper. Never been this scared of a goalkeeper. Chike, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your
Thank you,
say.
Terry.
Thank you very much.
You're always the best, and I like. Oh, also, before I go, please, you're going on with Lee Gunner tomorrow, right?
Thursday, me and Lee Gunner are going live.
Okay, please debate this topic because I will literally sit back and see what Lee Gunner thinks. Please, please debate this topic
We'll do it
for
on
sure.
Thursday. We'll do it
Because I want
Thursday.
to see what Lee Gunner thinks. But
All
I
right,
just think those 5 are better. But thank you so much, Terry. I know you got loads to do and you got people backstage. But thank you
care,
for
my
having
friend.
me.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, me and Lee Gunner live Thursday. Keep your eyes peeled. Can we stop overhyping Argentina? Netherlands will face Brazil and we'll win like every time we face them. Imagine the Netherlands win their first World Cup with this squad compared to some of their squads of the past. That would be a legitimate madness. Viewers, do me a favor, by the way, make sure you're smashing like buttons and you're subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. De Gea Prime put fear in strikers. Only thing I can accept is De Gea doesn't have the feet compared to Alisson. David De Gea Prime starts over Alisson, in my opinion. David De Gea Prime shot stopping is better than Alisson's. But the distribution and the commanding of the box from crosses and organization, that isn't there with De Gea. It's there on a high level, but not as good as Alisson's. So Alisson, I hate saying this, Alisson is a better overall goalkeeper than De Gea. And I'm a Man United fan saying this. He's there. Alisson scares me. Title of Terry's next video. He does scare me. He's legit. You guys keep saying take the L, but none of you have disproved me yet. Saying I'm wrong isn't an argument. Come on now. Come on here now, live on the air. Share the link again and challenge the king. Challenge the king for 10 grand. If you can find me another YouTuber, listen, share it with other YouTubers. Get them all on there. And there ain't a YouTuber in the world that can debunk me on this. There ain't a YouTuber in the world that can beat me in a debate. You can't stumble bum Terry Flewers. It will never, ever, 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 ever happen. You'll never get it to happen. You can't stumble bum me. I think about things too deeply. I'm too intelligent. No, I'm joking. I'm only playing now. Make sure you get the Hitch app downloaded, by the way. Get it scanned right now. Big announcement for the Football Terrace coming on Wednesday. So keep your eyes peeled for this big, big announcement. What other comments coming through here? Joshua won, but unfortunately, like I said before, he came to Terry will lose. But he didn't. Do you know what, guys? Come on now. Don't ruin the mood. How did he stop me from talking? Did he make me stumble on a point so that I couldn't respond? That's what you've got to do. It's not about you as the viewer agreeing with him more than me. That isn't winning. Stumble bum me. Kathy Newman me. Come on now. Play the game. Play the game. Play the game. Ram's here with me now. What are you saying, Ram?
I'm so happy you're starting to prop up my guy, man. Like it's beautiful to see. As soon as I heard his name, I was like, I need to get on the show. I need to get on the show because I said it. What was it? How long ago? It was 6 months ago? Well, I was like, Alisson Becker should be player of the season. And now everyone's starting to realize how good this guy is. Like he's an incredible player. Like he is. And for me, I'm kind of glad that you used a little caveat for your debate because there's only one person I'd say in terms of peaks that would challenge or be better than Alisson. But because he said 10 years, I feel as though you're giving yourself a good amount of room. You know what I mean? But if anyone's wondering, it would have been Oliver Kahn that would have been better. But that wasn't 10 years ago. It was about 20, 30 years ago. So yeah. It's for me. I'm just happy to see all these rivals crying because it is a conversation. Like I said it in the group chat, if Brazil go on and win this World Cup, we're gonna have to have some serious conversations about this guy and his ability as a goalkeeper. That's all I gotta say.
Mate, he's just sensational. Some of the saves he pulled off today out of this world, he can distribute. I mean, I'm really getting a lot of people in the comments say that he's not that good at passing. I don't
say otherwise.
I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, this guy's even scored a goal. Not just a goal that put Liverpool into the Champions League that they nearly won. Like it's sensational.
It was his worst. That worst season he had was the season where he got one assist and one goal. So like, if you're talking about world class and like longevity within that period, like at least he still did something that no goalkeeper in the history of Liverpool Football Club have ever done, which is score a goal at all. So all I gotta say, the guy can do everything. He can score, he can create, and he can save shots, man. Like what else can you get from a goalkeeper?
Yeah, he's out of he's out of this world, mate. He really is. Ram, appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man. Thank you. And look, people are going to have differences of opinions, and that is absolutely fair. A lot of people would pick Van der Sar. Van der Sar, yeah, he's legacy wise, yes, he's there. But we're not talking someone's legacy or legend in the game. We're talking them at their optimum best. And Alisson, for me, is the best goal I've seen in the last 20 years. He's that damn good. Super chat here. Says Alisson Becker has had assists in big games. I remember season when Liverpool won the league against Man United for Mo Salah. He certainly has got assists on top of everything else that he's absolutely sensational at. Terry, you are done for the day. Again, that's not an argument, bro. It's not an argument. That's not going to stop me from having the opinion. France will still have fun putting it past Alisson. I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know. France probably won't even get to the final anyway. They've got to play England first. I love how everybody's French. I've got a few Irish guys I follow. Like every game, and then round, they're just going out and buying new tops for these countries. I'm like, some people are really pathetic. Do you know what I mean? They switched nations more during this World Cup than Igal has. He's back to being French again now, by the way, people. Neeks is here with me now. Big win tonight for you boys. Congratulations. Smashed it. Looking sensational.
Yeah, it's been about time, man. Like the first 3 games, I'll give the last game is kind of is what it is in terms of the third game of the group. B team, whatever. First 2 games a bit more attritional. I guess Serbia, Switzerland don't want to lose, whether it be goals, and of course they can nick a draw, fair enough. But once you get in the knockout rounds, I think getting the early goals, especially this getting that second one with Neymar penalty, it just allowed Brazil to just open up and play their game. And it was good, man. That Richarlison goal, that is Brazilian football all over. You're doing these juggling, you're thinking, what are you doing? Why are you doing these kick-ups and head-ups, whatever? And then bam, 2 passes, he's in, and brilliant goal. So I think he's probably got a claim for potentially 2 goals of the tournament already, including his bicycle kick. But yeah, it was brilliant first half. Second half was a bit meh, nothing really. Like I think Brazil they were in reverse. They didn't even take their foot off the gas. They were in reverse. And obviously South Korea got a couple of chances and a goal. But yeah, brilliant performance. Well, more than ready for Croatia on Friday, and then potentially a meeting with Argentina. Hopefully Netherlands, but potentially Argentina in the semi-finals.
Having watched Croatia today, I know they won on penalties. Terrible. I was so annoyed with Japan, how good they've been this whole World Cup, and then their penalties were so bad. But Croatia now have played 4 games, won 1, drawn 4. Surely they have absolute. I don't even want to be disrespectful, but I can't see them laying a glove on you.
I can't see it. I think either one of those oppositions, Croatia or Japan, would have been confident of Brazil winning that game. But with Japan, you got that danger. You know what they can do, especially on the break. When they done it against Germany, done it against Spain, and they were showing it throughout the Croatia game on the break. They had that energy and that little zip, that nimbleness where they could get in behind, string a quick few passes together and get in behind. It's just their finish and let them down. With Croatia, they just look slow. They look tired, and I think going to 120 minutes ain't going to help them. Their squad is very experienced or old. It's the I guess the for want of a better phrase, but I think they're over the hill. Brazil should be. I'm not saying 4-0, but it should be comfortable. Even if it's a 2-0, it should be very, very comfortable. I don't think they have even the pace that even South Korea had today to get in behind a couple times and make Alisson pull off those saves. So for me, yeah, whether it's Croatia, whether it was Japan, but obviously it's Croatia, that should be a comfortable victory. Brazil can be happy with that. The draw that they've got.
Absolutely. Lots of brilliant performances today. I was very impressed with Casemiro in the middle again. Break up of play. I mean, the goal that Richarlison scored, of course, the passes from the headers from him, the pass from Thiago, the finish, but all started with him picking up that ball and spreading it into the right area. I mean, Casemiro again was just another stellar performance in that kind of holding role.
Casemiro's just been doing his job. All all World Cup. I don't think I'm hard pushed. If you were to make a team of the tournament, who would get in over him in that defensive midfield position? Obviously, he plays in a pivot, but whatever formation you play, I'll be hard pushed to put anyone above him. He's been brilliant. Happy for Vinny Jr. again to get his goal, obviously the opening goal. And I'm just happy to see Neymar back on the pitch, because obviously when he had that injury in the first game, there was fears that he might be out of the whole tournament. And, you know, if the draw went in certain ways, if Spain qualified top, maybe he wouldn't even be here by the time Brazil potentially get knocked out. But to see him start, which I was surprised with, I was surprised that he started, but he lasted 80 minutes. It took his foot off the gas in the second half, but it's good to see that if he was available, fit enough to play today, then by the time we get to the semi-finals, which I expect them to get to, he should be fit and ready to go. What was the Alisson talk that I missed?
No, I just said, yeah, I was going to. I mean, I honestly, today he pulled off more saves. I just said that for me in the last 20 years, I'm talking about goalies that have had their peak in the last 20 years. So, like, I don't put, you know, for instance, you would look at, like, Schmeichel wouldn't even, I don't think he was gone in the last 20 years. Like, you know, Van der Sar, I would say his peak was outside of that. But I said the last 20 years, for me, he's been the best goalie I've seen. And I'm putting that across everything. So, shot stopping, one-on-ones, command of the box, how good he is from crosses, his ability on one-on-ones is next level, and then his ability to distribute and sweeper keep. I think when you put every attribute together, he's the best I've seen in the last 20 years. When you factor in all those elements, and people, you know, there's loads of great names out there. A lot of people are saying Casillas couldn't do it with his feet.
No, not Casillas, not Casillas.
He can't. And
but,
you know,
I'll tell you, for me, if we're talking about the last 20 years, I think, okay, there's two names. I can't remember exactly when he made the move to Juve in 96. So Buffon has to be right up there. Now, of course, when some of these players made their debuts and when they obviously peaked, Alisson's much later, the sweeper keeper thing wasn't a thing. So so Buffon was doing the job that he was asked to do, and he did it to a level that was like unbelievable. So it's one of those things like, is Messi better than Pele? Because if he was playing in Pele's era with how football has developed now, he would dominate everyone. Yeah, but how good were they compared to their compatriots at the time? And I think that's one of the ways you can judge it. But even with that time differential, era differential, I will still put Neuer above Alisson. Alisson, for me, first and foremost, I'll say, is world class. Easily Brazil's best keeper. The debate about Alisson Ederson for me it was never really an argument, and I hope it's been done in the last couple of years, because he's clear for me of Ederson. The only thing Ederson has over him is kicking, is passing, and Alisson's pretty good at it as well. He does have those issues sometimes when he gets caught on the ball and made a bad pass. Ederson doesn't have that, but one-on-one shot stopping, etc. But with Neuer, if we're talking about sweeper keeper, considering he was one of the, it's hard, I can't say the first, but definitely one of the first proponents of the super keeper role, the level to which he did it at, considering that it wasn't a thing at the time, and all the keepers after him, including Alisson, have, I guess, followed in his footsteps in that role. I think him being the trailblazer, so to speak, in that role. If we're talking about one-on-ones, remember we played Schalke in 2011, and we went away, Man United, and we battered them, and we could not score past them at all until late in the game. I think Giggs and someone else scored. We won the game 2-0. And we tried to get Neuer that summer. We didn't get him. He went to Bayern. We got David De Gea instead. His command of the box, brilliant. His I don't know what his penalty saving record is, but the way that he dominates the goal, it makes it so difficult for people to even score past him. His kicking is sensational. I don't know if he's ever scored a goal. His sweeping behind the defense is sensational. If we're going to talk overall on ability, taking even errors out of it, etc., I would still put Neuer above Alisson. But other than Neuer, yeah, Alisson's probably top two.
And listen, and I think that's a really fair breakdown. My view on it is just this: all the things you've said about Neuer, I think, are true, but it's almost James Brown was almost the one of the main
Godfather. They call him the Godfather, isn't it?
The Godfather. Yeah, he's the Godfather. He's a legend. Some of the dance moves that he brought to music, and there's a point to this, viewers, that he brought to music are legendary. He was one of Michael Jackson's main idols and people that he modeled himself on. But Michael Jackson took it to another level.
But I
And
don't think Alisson taking it to another level. I don't think Alisson doing this better than what Neuer did.
that's what I think. And I'm talking slightly, and he's still only 30 years of age. I think in another 6, 7, 8 years, when he has the one thing that Alisson doesn't have yet, which you can't have at 30 as a goalkeeper, is that longevity. Unless you've been playing from a young age. Some goalkeepers, Casillas and David De Gea, they were at big teams from young ages, so they kind of have that. In another 6, 7, 8 years, when he maintains this level for that period of time, suddenly you're looking at a decade or so of work, the level of distribution and everything that he's doing. Then I think you'll look back and go, wow, actually, I think that's what he's doing. And for me, I only think he's marginally better. I don't think he is. Again, a lot of people have come on, like Chike came on and said, like, Neuer's distribution is clear of Alisson's. And I'm like, well, it's not clear. It's just better. But yeah, for me, like from my point of view, I just feel like what I see from Alisson, and I've watched Neuer play a lot of games. I maybe watched 100 games of his in my life, which I think is a fair sample size.
Yeah, definitely.
He's out of this world. He's world class. He's one of the best. But when I watch Alisson, and he's a Liverpool player, mind you, Alisson just makes me feel different. It makes me feel, I'm like, oh my days. Like, he pulls off saves I don't expect. And I've seen loads of goalies do that, but the frequency of Alisson is crazy. But it's a good, really, really good point there. It's been raised. People saying I've lost, but again, you're missing the point of the argument.
No, he hasn't lost, guys. I just won. I don't lose. So, don't blame Terry. Don't blame him.
It's not my fault. He's just one of the OGs out here. It's how it is.
No, but yeah, Alisson is like in the last year, you could say Courtois the best keeper in the world in the last year. You know, in terms of the awards, etc. But if I had to choose a keeper, you're picking an 11, a world 11. I'm picking Alisson. The guy, like one-on-ones, it's ridiculous. The guy it's ridiculous. And sometimes he makes some amazing saves, but sometimes he doesn't even make amazing saves because his position is so good.
Yeah,
that he forces the striker to kick it at him, basically.
Yeah, the save he made from Son being through on goal, a 4-0 down. That save I thought Son missed, but I had another bum game. But like he didn't. It was a save.
Raised his shoulder up and
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Someone said, Terry, you need to watch Neuer. I can't listen. I've seen him. I'm just telling you. I think Alisson's marginally better. Like I don't understand why that's not getting into people's heads. I'm not saying clear of. But you know what it is? That's what everyone does in debates now on all the other shit channels where they're just like clear of. I'm not saying clear. I'm just saying slightly better. That's all I'm saying, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? There we go. Neeks, thanks for coming on, bro. We'll chat again soon, my friend. All the best, bro. Top man. Thank you. Bless up. Abdi super chatted and said he wants to come on. Let me come on and win 10K. What you saying, Abdi?
Terry, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. What do you want to say, bro?
So what's your argument that Alisson is better than Neuer? Is it that are you going off of this season or the last few seasons with Liverpool? Well, my argument is that barring, in fact, no, even including Alisson, I've never seen a goalkeeper be more complete than Neuer. His distribution is unmatched. His passing is like it's better. Is on par with the midfielders of today's football. He has, even statistically, if you look at statistically he's a better shot stopper than Alisson. He's got a higher percent. He's in the higher percentile for save percentages. He's got a higher clean sheet percentage, and you've got to bear in mind that he plays in a system with a very high line where he's played with the likes of clowns with like Boateng and Dante earlier on, and Upamecano and Sule and Theo Hernandez. So not really the best defenders. They're more, especially with the German style of play, they like to box you in with that high line and keep you in their half. So he has to really have command of his box and has to come out a lot. So not only does his distribution have to be on point in order to get the team up the pitch, but also he has to be wary of counterattacks. His one-on-ones, he's like immaculate. He puts the fear of God in players like Messi and Ronaldo. If you ask them, they shit their pants every time they get, have to face Neuer. He saved a Ronaldo penalty, the 11-12 Champions League semi-final, I think. What do you call it? He battered Messi's Barcelona prime 7-0, 8-2. What else? He's statistically he's a better shot stopper because not only is he a higher percentile for save percentages and goals against and kind of what do you
So
call it? And shots.
you raised some great points. What I will say, there's a little bit of like revisionism in there. Like Boateng for Bayern Munich wasn't a bad
No, like
defender.
he wasn't a bad defender, but I'd say
Let me just finish. So not a bad defender. Liverpool play with a suicidal high line in a much better league. You will agree that the Premier League is a better quality league than the Bundesliga?
I would say so, but I would say that the
My point is, let me just finish my point. So Liverpool play with a high line, okay, with a bum on the right defensively in a league that's better. So it doesn't surprise me that the percentage, let me just finish. It doesn't surprise me that the level of shots stopped or maybe marginally higher for Manuel Neuer. When it comes to the pass like completion side of things, as an example, even if like that's one area where you say, well, he's better than him or he's better than there, but you only got to look at it now. I just looked here in the Champions League this year. Alisson 86%, Manuel Neuer 80%. In their leagues this year, they're both on 85%. Last season, Alisson averaged 3% better pass completion than Manuel Neuer. 2 seasons ago, Manuel Neuer averaged 7% better pass completion than him. So I've just randomly looked at the last 3 years, including this season, and Alisson's pass completion rate is better than only marginally. So for me, there's nothing you've said about Manuel Neuer that I overtly disagree with. I just think Alisson is slightly better than him overall. But what people are getting twisted is that a lot of people are hearing that as you're saying Manuel Neuer is bad. I just think Alisson is slightly better than one of the other greatest goalkeepers of all time. That's all I'm saying, my friend.
Could you look at then the pass completion rates of Neuer in his prime? Because I'd say right now he's nowhere near. He's off his prime. His prime was about from like 2013 to about like 2017.
So
he had like a toe. He had like a toe.
Bro, I'll do it for you.
Toe.
Bro, so I can only go back as far as 2014 on Scorecard. But in 2014-15, 86%. We'll go to the following year here, and it was 80%. So even in his prime, it was between the 80s and 85s. It hasn't changed. So like Alisson's doing the same thing. So yeah,
it's the same thing. Yeah. So if
but like I've said, when it comes to the legendary status and the legacy of Manuel Neuer, never would I claim that Alisson has surpassed that yet, or maybe he won't. But I think purely on the ability element, I prefer him to him, mate. But listen, great call. Brilliant points being raised there, my friend. Really enjoyed that. Top man. And we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. And listen, as I say, Manuel Neuer is absolutely sensational. But even at his peak, his pass completion was in and around the same now as Alisson. This talk that he's better at passing, no. And this is where people also let themselves down. Everybody tells me the Bundesliga isn't as good as the Prem. Alisson's then doing it in the Prem, and suddenly everything that he's doing in the Bundesliga is brilliant. So are we saying that the Bundesliga is as good as the Prem? Of course we're not. If a striker's scoring as many goals as a Premier League striker, we say Bundesliga tax. But a goalkeeper's doing that in the Bundesliga, and it makes him better than the Prem goalkeeper? Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me, my people. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But there we go. Listen, people, great show. Really enjoyed that. We've got a few more super chats here. Alisson Becker had an assist in a bit. Sorry, I already done that one there. De Gea will never be better than Alisson, is what this man says. I think tomorrow we might see upsets. Morocco are more threatening than Spain, and Switzerland can beat Portugal. I like the debate, Terry. It was a good debate. It's a good debate, and really great challenges from you, Josh, from Chike and Abdi there. Fantastic, and fair play to them for coming on and actually having their say. I like it. And yeah, I'm predicting Switzerland to knock out Portugal as well. Terry, record against European teams in knockouts since 2006 is really poor. Croatia, midfield forwards exploited the fullbacks. Yeah, I hear you there, my friend. I hear you. Listen, I appreciate everybody that has tuned in today. All of you in the comments as well. You know, I respect you a lot, especially you. Where are you gone, my friend? Where's my man gone here? And I remember everything the community says. You always laugh at players that are bought from the Bundesliga. Now suddenly they're the best. Howler of the century for Terry's sweeper statement got shut down by us. Yeah, but you didn't come on. You're just talking, my friend. No one stopped me. But look, great banter. I really enjoyed it, mate. Top man for keeping me in check. I enjoy it. Everyone who's tuned in, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. We're back tomorrow with more content. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.